So it's still a Category 1 hurricane, but I would rather see tropical storm winds than Hurricane 1 or Cat 1 hurricane winds. Major difference. So we're all preparing ourselves as far as getting mentally ready for this thing to hit Central Florida. It's already hitting Central Florida, but the major bands that contain the sustained winds, that's what we're getting ready for. Earlier this morning, between 11 and 1 o'clock, the outer bands, the north and northeast outer bands, already produced a few tornadoes out on the East Coast. Just south of Melbourne, a couple of communities were hit. One of them was a mobile home park. I believe a handful of mobile homes were damaged, and another community, another neighborhood was hit. A neighborhood that was not a mobile home park was hit, and a few homes sustained or received major damage. So it's been an eye-opener watching this on our local affiliate, CBS affiliate, which, by the way, they've been doing an awesome job. They always do. But the guy that has been doing a great job is, I forget his name, but one of the reporters that's out on the field. He's been out there since this morning. And he's been basically reporting everything that's been going on the East Coast. And he's been there firsthand right after these two storms, these tornado hoppers hit these two communities. So it's an eye-opener because you're seeing damage. You're seeing what these it's less than the EF1 tornadoes, all these tornado hoppers can produce. And from what I remember, one of the mobile homes was impaled by metal or sheet metal. I mean, it's still, even if it at a low EF0, EF1 tornado, can still make a lot of damage. And so that was quite shocking in some ways. Thankfully, nobody was injured or hurt or anything like that. A lot of the people that live in these mobile homes or mobile park communities are elderly people. And from what they were speaking about, a lot of the people, actually most of the people that live in that community had evacuated and made it to a safe place, which was the clubhouse. So this particular area got hit quite hard. I feel bad. I hope that this storm doesn't produce more damage. I hope that we don't get to see anything like that, and I hope this is it. Wishful thinking, but I'm just hoping for the best because we have a long 24 hours ahead of us, and things are not going to calm down till tomorrow afternoon, September 11th. So we're not going to know. We're not going to see any footage. Actually, we won't even see it tomorrow. A lot of us who have or will have power will see it. Most of us won't, but we might be able to see it through our cell phones. So if definitely a lot of the footage is going to come in tomorrow, it's going to be it's just going to be heart-wrenching seeing what happened after the storm, what happened down in the Keys and Fort Myers, Southwest Florida, and Tampa. But it's kind of eerie or kind of weird, not weird in a way, but being that tomorrow is 9/11, and then you're not going to be able to see this footage of the aftermath until tomorrow, which is 9/11. It's just strange. It's really strange. Everybody here in Florida has been prepping for the last week, since last Saturday, right after Harvey hit Houston. We've all been prepping for the storm because we've known about it for the last 2 weeks. Nobody has been able to predict the storm or able to directly predict the path of the storm because it's so unpredictable. The only path that was predicted was its path through the Caribbean and all these islands. Category 5 storm, when it started, when it hit Guadeloupe, Barbuda, and all these other islands, they were decimated by these winds. I feel extremely sad by what went on there. And then the storm made its way into Cuba and now Florida. So at a category 5 at 185 miles an hour, that's just absolutely unfathomable, crazy. It's I've never seen a storm this size, that big. The last storm that was this big but didn't pack that much of a punch was Francis, which is right after Charlie in 2004, and that was a massive storm that covered all of Florida. But luckily here in Florida, for all of us here, this Francis was supposed to hit like Irma sitting right now, but thankfully though, something happened to where the storm stalled and it became a tropical storm, not a hurricane. And so it was a slow-moving storm like Irma. Irma's moving at 9 miles an hour. And Francis at the time, I believe, was moving at 5 or 6 miles an hour. So it was Francis was a slow-moving storm, which contained a lot of wind and rain, tropical storm. And it was a long weekend, a weekend-long curfew, so no one was able to do anything, stuck at home for a whole weekend. And this storm is basically the same. And what I mean by that, it's a massive storm. Everybody here, for the most part in Central Florida, they're all stuck at home trying to see what happens, and everybody's going to wait it out. But it is a massive storm covering, as of right now, most of the state of Florida, except for the western part of the Panhandle. But it is an extremely massive storm. So it's already here in Central Florida. It's already caused a lot of damage, like I said earlier. But it's just a wait and see game. I have to say I got to give credit where credit is due, and I have to give credit to Governor Rick Scott. He's done a great job this whole week. First of all, declaring state of an emergency last Sunday, and I thought that was perfect timing. I thought the sooner you do that, the better, and the quicker people can prepare for this storm, which not many, but a lot of people did. So I have to give credit where credit is due, and Governor Rick Scott has been doing a great job as far as doing that and updating people and letting people know what's going on and what they're doing and how they're getting prepared. So, like him or not, he has done a great job. And that, to me, that's when things like this occur and you have a governor that is out there in the forefront and leading the way, you got to give him credit. So a lot of people started preparing this whole week, picking up supplies. More people that I want to give credit to are your everyday people, your Joes, everyday Joes, your residents here. Floridians are not taking this lightly. They have gone out and prepared. Most of the people were prepared a week ago. Most of them, they were basically done and finished preparing towards the end of the week. And it wasn't, at times it was depending on the places that you were at, as far as like picking up supplies, a little crazy, but not too bad. Everybody was civil. So it went on flawlessly, I would have to say. It was frustrating waiting in line for, a long time just so you can buy a few things before the storm. But everybody maintained their civility. So it was good to see that. It was good to see Floridians pulling together and just being civil about this whole process. So that's something that I think a lot of people learned from Charlie. That's something that a lot of people learned from Matthew last year. And that was good to see, because you don't on your regular day, you don't really see that, but this whole week it's been like that. So I also have to give credit to our local mayor and mayors and for keeping us informed on what they're going to do and what they've been doing to prepare for the storm and to prepare residents here in Central Florida for the storm. Also, I want to give credit to the local electrical companies, your OUCs, your FPL, your Pike, and these other various workers that are coming from other states and even Canada. They're coming down here to help us get back and running after the storm. And you guys don't even know how much I appreciate that, and a lot of us Floridians, we appreciate that too. I just remember during Charlie not having electricity for 2 weeks, and you see all these power trucks, all these power crews out everywhere from every state that you can think of. They were down here helping us get our electricity back and helping us out and getting us back to normal. And I just remember that whole time not having electricity, and then finally when I got it, oh, thank God, because that hurricane hit on Friday the 13th in August of 2004. So in the middle of the summer, not having any power for days for 2 weeks, it was just it was a long 2 weeks. Let me put it that way. But anyways, I just want to thank those power crews for being down here and getting ready to help us out. We really do appreciate it. You guys probably don't hear it. You don't hear people coming up to you and telling you, hey, you did hear that after Charlie in 2004, because we were all very appreciative. But beforehand, I just want to let you guys know that I'm just thankful. Thank you guys for coming down here. And I know that you guys are sacrificing a lot too, not being with your family and friends, but you're coming down here and helping us out. Many people will take that for granted, but I don't take that for granted. And I just want to say thank you for coming down here and helping us, because it really does mean a lot to me, and it really does mean to a lot of us down here in Florida. So that has I feel a lot of I'm comforted by that, comforted in the fact that we have many people down here that are coming down here to help us out. And you have a lot of people that went to Houston during to help out at the Harvey victims, and now they're here back in Florida to help us out. So what tonight is going to produce, I have no idea. I don't know how long my electricity is going to last. I'm thinking it's probably going to last till I'm probably guessing between 8 and 10 o'clock tonight. That's when things are supposed to start intensifying. And right now we're just getting a lot of gust and wind and rain. So I'm just getting myself ready, and a lot of people are too. I'm assuming I'm not the only one who's watching the news right now, but I'm just getting things ready for tonight and getting things ready for what's going to go on. And you see small burst of rain and small burst of wind. And at times it's intense, and at times it's not intense. And, it's scary because there's a lot of tornado hoppers that's what the forecasters are calling it, that are basically in our area right now from that eastern outer band of this tornado, which is like the worst part of the tornado, where you don't want to be. If you're on the eastern wall of that tornado or the northeast wall of that tornado, you don't want to be there. And this is why this storm has been so unpredictable, because at first it was supposed to make land on the East Coast and then go up the coast, right on the East Coast, along the coast. And then towards midweek, the forecast changed to the path was supposed to go down the spine of Florida. So basically through the middle of Florida. And up until 2 days ago, Friday night going into Saturday, the forecast was changed once again. And now they were saying after the hurricane left Cuba, that Hurricane Irma was going to make its way onto the West Coast. So many people that were on the East Coast originally that got that forecast of this hurricane going towards their side, a lot of those people evacuated to the West Coast. So now, 3 days ago, a lot of those people evacuated back to the East Coast. And many of those just evacuated to Central Florida. Now, for the people that live on the West Coast, you start to feel bad for them because they're in the middle and they've been like, where am I supposed to go now? Because now this new forecast, which is on its way, which is basically the forecast that we have now, told people on the West Coast it was coming their way Friday night. By that point, it was already too late for those people to get out and go to the mainland, the center of the state, go to Central Florida and seek refuge. So now a lot of those people, I'm sure, stayed behind because they're just better off staying behind than being out and about with all this traffic and people evacuating South Florida. So as far as that's concerned, it's been a mess. As far as the evacuations that have been going on in South Florida and Southwest and Southeast Florida and many of the people that were on the Keys. So your best bet, if you didn't know what to do and Friday rolled around, you're better off just staying where you were. So this has been the most unpredictable storm that I've ever seen, the biggest storm that I've ever seen. And it's worrisome. So now we're just waiting and seeing on what's going to happen later on tonight. I've been getting a few outer bands that were a bit intense, so I'm expecting a lot more rain tonight, and a lot of us are expecting a lot more rain. I just hope that what we get tonight is tropical storm winds and not hurricane winds. We were supposed to get tropical storms. This is what they were saying. The forecasters were saying earlier today they were supposed to get tropical storm / Hurricane Cat 1 storms between 65 and 80 something, 84. But now it's sustained 84 for tonight. And as the day goes along, these the forecast of these winds are more basically what we're going to get tonight. So that right there, I'm not looking forward to that. I hope it really does lessen, and I hope that we get less than what we're supposed to get. So this is a waiting. Just wait. It's a waiting game now. So right now the storm is slowly moving through Southwest Florida, Fort Myers, and then Port Charlotte, and then it's going to make its way to the Tampa Bay area, St. Pete area, and then after that it's going to hit North Florida, and then hit Georgia, and actually 3/4 of Alabama is going to get hit with tropical depression, tropical storm winds from this storm, from Hurricane Irma. So this storm is not done doing its damage. It's probably going to affect some states in the Midwest. It's going to affect the Southeast, obviously. So it has a lot of states on its site. So as of right now, we're just waiting and hoping that it's not going to be as bad as what they're saying. But so far from what I've seen today, it has been intense, especially out on the East Coast, along the coast, along Merritt Island, Palm Bay, Melbourne. That's where the eastern outer bands were coming through and still are coming through. So that's the dangerous part of a hurricane, because those bands produce tornadoes as they're on the water, and then as they come inland, a lot of the towns and cities that are along the coast get hit with tornadoes like they did earlier today. So I'm hoping that's the end of it, and I'm hoping that no one else here in Florida gets those. I've already seen enough. So I'm praying for a lot of these people, and I'm praying and hoping that nothing more happens. So I will keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys informed as much as I can until my power goes out. So I don't know how much longer I have. I'm assuming I have another 4 or 5 hours. Hopefully that's wishful thinking. So, and I'm hoping for less winds. So if we get less winds, that means that power might not be out for a long extended period of time. So that's why I'm hoping for lesser wind speeds. So right now it looks like I'm getting more rain. I'm getting another band. So the forecasters are saying keep an eye out with these outer bands because they can produce hoppers, tornado hoppers. So I'll be keeping an eye out on that all day. And so that's what's been going on here in Florida. And that's it. It's just a waiting game now. Waiting and waiting and waiting to figure out and find out what's going to happen later on tonight. Like I said earlier, I don't know if I mentioned it, but tonight's podcast, I'm going to leave it short, under 30 minutes, half an hour, so I can check on things around the house. Everything's cool so far, so I'm actually I'm happy about that right now. So we'll see what happens. More rains are coming. Yes, I said more rains are coming. So, but I want to say the local affiliate here, CBS, they've been doing an awesome job on reporting on what's going on out there. So, and their weather app has been keeping me updated on conditions or what's headed our way. So they've been doing an awesome, fantastic job. So I got to give them credit for that. And on the vent, on the Smarmy Grin podcast, on our vent segment, the bitching, the pouting, the moaning, I will be speaking about stupid Florida drivers again. Okay, people, honestly, a hurricane is on top of your state. A huge one. A hurricane that was a Cat 5 at one point, producing 185 miles an hour. Sustained. Why are you guys out on the road? Why are you guys driving around? I saw that this morning. I'm seeing the local reporter here out on the East Coast reporting. Him and the camera guy are driving down A1A US 1. And this is right around the time where all these tornado hoppers and microbursts were going on. And at one point as they're driving, they hit a pocket of water. And I'm talking about rain. I couldn't even see what was going on because they had the camera inside a van. So you could see everything that they were seeing. You could not see anything. The only thing that you could see were the headlights of oncoming traffic or northbound traffic. But not that there was traffic, but there were many vehicles out on the road. More so than there should have been. And again, people, why are you guys out on the road? I do not get this. Why? Knowing that there was a tornado warning in that area and that area gets hit with tornado warnings every single time we get any tropical disturbances or anything like that in Florida. So why are you people out there? You have no business being out there. Leave that for first responders and people that are reporting the news. You don't need to be out there. You're putting everybody in danger. You're putting yourself in danger. You're putting all of us in danger, man. Come on, stay home. Stay home. Watch the news from home, from your couch, which is the safest place to be. During tropical depression, through a tropical storm, during a Cat 1 storm, stay at your house. You don't need to be out there. You're putting first responders, you're putting them in danger. You're putting everyone else in danger. And it wasn't like one or two cars. I mean, this is one car after another car after another car. Are you people that stupid? I know that the reporters can't say that, but you can tell that they wanted to say that. The people in the studios wanted to say that. People, you guys are stupid for doing this. Stay at home. Enjoy your beer. Hang out. Watch a game. Or do whatever until electricity goes out. Then read a book. But you don't need to be out, hanging out, and sightseeing. A lot of you are just wannabe storm chasers. Leave that for the guys that live in the Midwest. And just get out of the way of first responders. What, are you kidding me? Just because you have a cell phone doesn't make you a storm chaser. You have a phone. It doesn't make you a reporter. It doesn't make you a storm chaser. So just get out of the way. Stay at home. and don't put yourself in harm's way, and don't put other people in harm's way. So stay at home, stay safe. You got a lot of firefighters and medical support that are out there, a lot of medics, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're responding to emergencies. What's your emergency? Just sightseeing? Just go home, stay there, and hang out. And that's my bitching and moaning segment, the venting segment tonight. So I'll keep you guys informed, and I'll make a few more podcasts and let you know what's going on here. And just wish us and hope us and pray for us that everything goes well. And I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend, and I hope you guys had a great week. And I will be making another podcast before the light goes out, hopefully, and give you an update. If not, then I will talk to you guys later in a couple of days or so. If I don't lose power tonight, I will be making another podcast. I hope you guys have an awesome day. And thank you again for listening to the Smarmy Grin podcast. And have a great day. See ya!